Well, good morning. I hope you've had a great weekend. It is Monday, the 22nd of March, 2021, here in Sydney, Australia, right now. And this is my weekly energy reading. So I've pulled the cards today. If you don't know who I am, by the way, my name's Karen Turpin from karenturpin.com. The cards that I pulled today, I'm using the Voyager cards. Here they are. There's the book. Okay, interesting cards today. I think they're really exciting, and I think that it shows that we're moving into a new phase, really. So feels like we're moving away from some heaviness that's been around for a while. So the first card that I pulled is Devil's Play. Now, I know we've had this on and off for weeks and for months. And as you've probably heard me say before, we can take a card, and depending on the other cards that come with it, it can have a slightly different context. So just because we get a card in one spread, it's not going to necessarily have the same message in the next week or the next time it appears. So Devil's Play, if you remember, law of celebration, the exaltation of life, and also appreciating the hard work that life is sometimes. So it suggests to us or encourages us to free ourselves from the constraints and become spontaneous and original. And the second card that I pulled is a beautiful card. It's called Brilliance. It's the Ace of Crystals. Hope you can see that. So I'm going to read what the book says about this because it's so lovely. I'd like to share it with you. So let me just have a read here. So Ace of Crystals, the formulation of pure consciousness into an idea is symbolized by the ace. The citrine sunburst represents the awakening of your mind, a flash of insight. Aha, now I see. You are cutting through darkness and clouds, symbolizing unawareness and confusion. The diamond brilliance of your ideas emanates a light that is inspiring, clarifying, stimulating, and revolutionary to others. Your natural brilliance has shown through. Believe in your unique genius and produce from it. I think that's beautiful. I hope you do too. I'll put the cards together at the end. The third card is the Child of Cups. And it encourages us, like a child, to be open and sensitive and honest with our feelings. So express freely in order to feel alive. And I think that that card follows on beautifully from the previous one. So at a micro level, I feel the cards encourage us to celebrate how far we've come, all the hard work that we've put in, celebrate our achievements, and align to more and more of the higher mind. Now, my energy readings usually appeal to light workers, healers, starseeds, spiritual entrepreneurs. That's usually the types of people that enjoy what I have to say. And so for us, I feel that it's worth mentioning that as light workers and healers, starseeds, many of us have been doing this for a long time. 10, 15, 20 years we've been trying to bring light onto this planet, to raise the consciousness of this planet. If you're like me, it's been a hard slog at times, and I feel that we're seeing a change now on the planet. Thank goodness there is a mass awakening that's happening right now. More and more numbers of people waking up. And so I feel this card, the Devil's Play, is acknowledging the hard work that we've all put in to, try to continue to shine the light through some of the darkest of times. Now, I think it's true to say that currently we are going through a very dark time on the planet. However, I kind of see a counterbalance starting to happen where people are waking up. And we're seeing, the freedom marches where people want to express their opinion. And I think that that reflects the brilliance card that I read about, coming into your uniqueness, your brilliance, because the crystals, the deck the suit of crystals in this particular deck of cards is representing the mind, but I feel higher mind. And so what I see on the planet, many of us shifting from that ego mind, the lower conscious mind, into the higher mind, higher states of consciousness, and the brilliance that that card kind of signifies. And so I feel that, you know, these protest marches and people demanding their rights and their freedom, which we see all around the world right now, is because people are moving from that lower consciousness, lower ego mind, represented of the lower three chakras. Lower three energy centers tend to be connected with the ego mind and that lower mind. And now we're moving into higher mind. And on the way to the higher mind, we have to go through the heart. So there's the Child of Cups that I mentioned, when it encourages us to express our emotions and to be sensitive to what we're feeling and what we're experiencing. So, as I said, in order to move our consciousness from the lower three energy centers, we have to go through the heart to get to the higher mind. And in the heart, actually, is where many people kind of get stuck, because we are being asked to, or pushed to actually feel so much more than we did before. And so I think that this feeling part is the part where many people get stuck, to be perfectly honest with you, because, you know, we have deep emotion in there. We have things that we've suppressed for years, you know, from childhood sometimes. And so I think with these cards today, we could, maybe it's a little bit of encouragement or support, and encouraging us to go back to a time when we felt safe and free to express our truth. Now, it's true that in many of the healing sessions that I do with clients, it's often that they go back to a time in their childhood where they first started to shut down and suppress their emotions because of something that had gone on, you know, in their family or in their surroundings, and they no longer felt safe to express themselves. Now, I think it's true on this planet, with everything that's gone on over the last thousands of years, that many of us haven't felt safe to express our truth. And I think particularly as starseeds and light workers, many of us have had this underlying feeling that it's not safe to be seen. It's not safe to express who I truly am, and it's not safe to express what I'm really capable of, what my gifts and talents actually are. And so over eons of time, we've suppressed our natural gifts and talents. We've kind of hidden, almost gone underground, many of us, in an attempt to not be seen, because many of us are still carrying the witch wound, you know, when we were hunted down as witches and burnt at the stake and all of that. So I think these cards are beautiful, and I think that certainly it can be a scary time on this planet as we speak out more and more of our truth, and we see some people being harshly condemned because they've been brave enough to speak their truth. But, you know, I feel that we're kind of at the cusp of that. There's a change on the planet happening from when people express their truth and they are judged and condemned and attacked for that truth. And yet there's this wave of consciousness of the people waking up and supporting those that actually speak their truth. So I think we're kind of in that, there's a pivot point there. We're in that balance where, you know, I really feel that when we come together and support each other, that we can swing the balance in our favor, in the favor of the light, because we know that the light will always win. It's just a case of when. And so the more of us that come out and express our truth and be who we truly are, that's how we tip the balance into the light. When we continue to suppress our emotions, to not be who we truly are, to not express our truth, and to not share our gifts and talents with the world, and support each other to do that, then we're kind of playing into that darkness in a sense. We're staying hidden and we're suppressing, but the light can't come through fully when we're still kind of in suppression mode. So a lot of this shift of consciousness on the planet that we all want, it comes down to us. If we are not prepared to stand in our truth and express our truth and bring through everything that wants to be expressed through us as we connect with the light, then how can we ever expect the light to literally manifest into the physical on this planet? It has to start with us, it has to come through us. And I think that the more of us that encourage our colleagues, our peers, to do that, to stand in their truth as well, then we all benefit, we all gain. And remember that competition and greed and judgment and all of that I know we have done to many of our colleagues and peers, other healers and light workers, we've criticized them, we've judged them for coming out and saying certain things because it doesn't match our perspective, how we see things. Instead of judging, we should encourage them, because we all have a unique audience that wants to hear from us. And their audience is not your audience or my audience. Every one of us here has a message that people are waiting to hear. And so the more we encourage each of us to step out with our truth, with our message, to share that with the world, everybody gains. If we can support each other to do that, we literally are supporting light to come onto this planet rather than judging and condemning and shutting it down. We have to open our mind now, I think, to the brilliance. It's really quite a magical plan that we can only encourage more and more light onto the planet when we encourage more of us to be in our purest light and highest consciousness. So I hope that's probably enough from me today, but I hope that that makes sense to you. I hope that you can take a moment to reflect into your life and say, well, where have I been suppressing? Where have I not been standing in my truth? And I absolutely even encourage you to step out and be who you truly are and who you came here to be. Now, if you're feeling stuck in that, if you've got old wounding coming up from childhood where you've learned that it's not safe to express your truth, then I invite you to have a look at that now as an adult in a whole different time on this planet. Absolutely, a time of awakening and coming into truth on this planet. Is it time now for you to heal those old wounds? Is it time for you to really connect deeply within and really open that channel with source light? Get that connection strong so that your unique gifts and talents can come through. Because to me, it's all about sharing who you are and what is your uniqueness. Without doubt, you have magical abilities. You have things that you can do that I can't do, and vice versa. And so I would encourage you to really dig deep into yourself, express those feelings that you might have been suppressing. And that could be fear of being seen. It could be, the fear of speaking your truth, as I've said, and, the fear of judgment, of family. What will others think of me if I come out and suddenly, I have all this spiritual stuff? So, if you feel stuck in any of that, please reach out to me, send me an email, admin@karenturpin.com, or DM me, depending on where you're listening to this. Get in touch with me. I'm kind of on, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, SoundCloud, all over the place. But reach out to me because I can help you get unstuck. I can help you get your connection flowing good and strong and help you build the confidence to take your message out into the world, because we need you now. We need as much light and pure heart and open heart coming onto this planet as we possibly can, because that's how we're going to tip the balance and move away from the darkness and into the light. And I know that that's what you want as much as I do. So I encourage you to please play your part in this now, because the world needs you. So I hope you enjoyed this. Please reach out to me if you need to, keep in touch. Otherwise, have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.